Good day, fellow Nigerians. To the subject matter, I want to quickly lend my voice to the ongoing discourse on the social media with regards to the youth submission in the House of Assembly demanding an electoral reform, because it's our time our electoral system is purged and sanitized. We all have seen what transpired during the 2023 general election. It was a sham, it was a disgrace, it was totally flawed, and nobody in his right mind can subscribe to such electoral system that has so much flaws in it. Now, the youth of all background, from north, south, east, and west, have all gathered together to come together and formulate a bill that will be considered by the House of Assembly. This is not whether or not they will do it. This is a must. We are asking the House of Assembly and the upper house, the Senate, to ratify the bill and make sure that they send it to the president for ratification and final endorsement. And once the president signs this bill, there is going to be a very swift action by the electoral umpire, the INEC, to do the needful. What the youths are asking is not something big. They are saying that we cannot continue this way. There are a lot of irregularities. There are a lot of blunders on our electoral process. We've seen what happened during the last election. There were a lot of rigging, a lot of vote buying. There were a lot of even the youth that are participating. There were so many on qualified voters, that is the underage, who participated in the elections. And that is why the international communities and the Yaga network, the International News Watch, as well as the European Union, every international organization that oversaw or foresaw the election, they all condemned it and they said it was nothing to write home about. So we are to stand and then make sure that this time around our electoral process is sanitized. The youth are asking that there must be a well thought out bill. This bill has been written out by the youth. What the INEC need to do is to read through. What they are demanding is that from henceforth, which is to mean that your beavers must be at its top notch. Your machines, other machines, your thumbprint, everything must be very sound. All other electoral materials must be delivered right on time. The electoral officials and those in the field and those that are supposed to supervise them must be on ground well ahead of time. Why should you be conducting an election in which after 8 hours from morning till 12 p.m., there is no electoral material on ground, and you want the people to vote, and then that place will be credible? So we are a joke. The electoral commissioner, this is a joke. INEC is a joke in Nigeria. INEC, aren't you ashamed? Aren't you ashamed of what is happening in Nigeria? Is it the way it's happening elsewhere? Is it the way it's happening in America, in Europe, and in other parts of the world that we are supposed to be par with in terms of standard? Standards are not kept in Nigeria. Not even the least standard of electoral practices. And we are talking about international best practices. And we are not even practicing a locally attained practice that is acceptable. When in the history of Nigeria has our election been free, fair, and credible? There has never been a time. And that is why there is a massive cry out. Everybody is crying out, and they are saying that you have to make it work 2023 was a sham, was the biggest electoral failure that INEC has ever conducted. And you know it. You know it. None of your corporate, none of these electoral officials who committed fraud and who committed these blunders were brought to book. None of them has been even arraigned before the court of law. Not to talk of being persecuted or convicted. They are all still your officials, and they are running your errands still. So how can we continue in this kind of process? And you want the electorate to vote, and you want the electorate to vote. And now we are hearing that the House of Assembly have just summoned a bill mandating that all Nigerians of voting age should vote, or if they refuse to vote, on failure to vote, they will attract a fine of 100,000 or 6 months in jail. Isn't that laughable? That is the biggest laughable bill I've ever seen in recent history. How can you say that if a Nigerian refuses to vote, then they will go to jail? That is you're just making, you're joking. That is a joke, and you know it's not gonna work. And what have you put in place that will attract the young people to go vote? Not only young people and even the adult. What have you put in place? Have you reformed the bill? Have you reformed your electoral system? Have you made sure that the beavers work? Even not to even talk about the beavers. Have you even cleared the backlog of all the problems that happen before you go to electoral field? Like, for example, the voter's card. Have you made it possible for all the electorate to be able to have free voter's card without having to go through the eye of a needle before they can get it? Are all bona fide Nigerians eligible to vote? No. But here you know that Nigeria goes out of our country and import other foreigners to come and vote during our election. You know it. You know it so well. And you have always turned a blind eye to all this evil that have been done, all because you want to rig elections, or because you are supporting your paymaster to be able to have their own their party win the election. What have you done against all the underage voting that has been going on in Nigeria for ages? We have seen the north where less than 10 years or 12 years of age, they are all voting lying in the queue. What have you done to stop the inflow of foreigners penetrating across the northern borders into our country to vote during the electoral time? You have stayed continually turned blind eye to all the malpractices that are being done in high places to ensure that your paymaster win the election. What have you not done, INEC? You are the biggest mistake. You are the biggest shame as far as Nigeria electoral system is concerned. And you should hide yourself in shame. Hide your eyes in shame. And allow Nigerians enjoy the dividend of democracy. We are in a democratic regime and dispensation. Why wouldn't you just do something that will appeal to the generality of the people and the entire Nigerians, and then give us at least a reason to laugh for once and say, oh, INEC has done the biggest thing ever, but you have not done it. Please, I want you to share this video. Let it go to all those who are concerned, your members of representative in the House of Rep, and to those who represent you and in the Senate, and all the government officials. Let them get this video so they can push it to the INEC officials, and we all will lend our voice to make sure that Nigerians work for all. So I like you to just make sure you subscribe to my channel, share this video, subscribe and like, and God is going to bless you as usual. I'm going to be putting out more videos in regards to this very topic, and I know Nigeria will be better for it, because we must make Nigeria work, and the unity of Nigeria is sacrosanct. God bless you, and I'm going to be seeing you in my next video in the mighty name of Jesus. Go and be blessed. I love you. This is Nige Impact.